We're going to go over Reteaching 4-1 right now. I know a lot of kids have had some questions, and it is the Reteaching 4.1 that we're doing right now. So just make sure it says Reteaching at the top. Okay, so the first part says the table below shows the number of miles Frida ran over a period of days in a line plot. A line plot data shows along the number line. Each X represents one day in the data set. Right now, I'm going to make my screen bigger. I think it's easier. Let me move my face here. I think it's easier to do it with 100%. I'll move it over again. So just to review, this is called a frequency table, and this is called a line plot. So table, line plot. So what happens is I actually think most of the times when we do data, we try to do it in a chart like this. So this number 2, it means this number 2 here. The number 3 means this number 3. This number 4 means this number 4, and all the way down. Now you'll notice there is no 7 on this, but there is no 7 is listed on the line plot. That's because it is going in number order. It's really just a number line. So the 2 here means 2 X's. The 4 here means at number 3, put 4 X's. Number 4, you need to put 5 X's. So the next thing, and I already went ahead and circle or put a box around it. This is called an outlier. An outlier means it just doesn't quite fit in with the other data. I kind of think of it as being an outsider. Maybe there's a club and you can't join in. So they're all together and you're on the outside looking in. So an outlier and an outsider are very much the same. So on the line plot, each X represents one day. An outlier is a number in a data set. So this is called a data set right here. All these X's, all this, that's just data set, is very different from the rest of the numbers. So is there an outlier in the data set above? And we already know there is. I'm going to go ahead and write in my box, yes, there is an outlier because 12 is very different than the other data in the set. Now that's a really fancy answer. You don't have to get as fancy as I do. And if you ran out of room, you can make your boxes bigger like I did. Okay, so the next one here, I am given a table, which is this, so where it's also called a chart. Don't worry about, they're pretty much synonyms. And over here is our number line. Notice the number line here starts with a 3. Your number line doesn't have to start with 1. The first number here, 3, that can be the first number. So these numbers would be how long your line is. So I needed to make a line that starts at a 3. My reminder just went off to feed my dog. And my back number needs to be 13. So what they're asking you to do here is to put your X's on to make sure your line plot matches these numbers right here. So these are the ones that need to have the X. Let's see if I can color that. So those in orange need to be over here. So as you can see, I've already kind of started. I made 2 X's on 3. It says 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste. You can do this by either right-clicking. And here's a little hint. You only have to copy it once. And then you can just hit Control-V over and over and over and over again. And it will just make it so you don't have to hit copy each time. Then all you need to do is move your X's on there. So far, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need it to be a 5. And then for 4, I would make sure I have 3. For 5, I would need 2. And come on, move over a little bit. And then I ran out of my X's. I can just hit Control V again, and it will give me what I need. You're going to do that for all of these. So I do want to point out at 6, it says 0. So you're not going to put any X's on number 6. The next one you would do, actually, I'm going to go ahead and finish this whole thing because we only have 2 more to do. We have a 7, and then we have 1 at 13. So the question in number 2 says, complete the line plot to show the data in the table for the puppy's birth weight, then identify the outlier. So it's already telling you that there's going to be an outlier. Well, here it is. There's our outlier. It doesn't match. I'll put that in red. I didn't want to do that. I wanted my line to be red. There we go. So what is the outlier? The outlier is 13. Oh, 13. And if you wanted to be even extra fancy, you could put what 13 is, and then you could do that as pounds. LB means pounds. You can spell it out, or you could do the abbreviation, or in my case, I'll be extra fancy and do both. So I hope that helps you figure out, I don't want to do that, how to do this. And remember, it is easier if you change your font color to another color, but you don't have to. Let me know if you have any questions by messaging me on Google Classroom. Bye.